Welcome to MacroCode. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. So today we are going to create a simple help desk management system. So if you're new to this channel, subscribe and let's begin the video. So we are going to create this application using Visual Studio 2022. So I'm going to create a new project. So I'll just click new. Then I'm going to use SPMVC template. So if I just search there, then you should be able to see we have various templates. So I'm going to use SPMVC, this one. So I'll choose this one, then next. So here, I'm going to give the application the name. So I'm going to say help desk system. Then I'll choose my location where I want my project to actually sit. Then the solution name, then I'm going to say place the solution and project in the same folder. Then if I click next, I'm going to use .NET 8, which is under long-term support. So we have various .NET framework that you can choose. So I'm going to use .NET 8. Authentication mode, I'm going to use individual account. Then I can create my project. So once this is created, we can actually link this now to our database and do a lot of things. So let's just wait and see how our project will look like. So it's creating the project. So for those who are new to this channel and you like this video, comment down below, subscribe, and let's begin this series. So let's see how our project looks like. So this is our project. So it has created, and you can see we have various folders. So we have our program.cs file here. We have our app settings. We also have our views folder, our models folder, the data folder, controllers, areas, and we all have all these other information. Then under dependencies, you can also see our packages. So these are some of the packages that has been installed. So we can actually launch this project and see how it looks like before even doing anything. So let's just launch and see how this project looks like. So there we go. So let's just wait and see. So for those who are following this video and you're new to this channel, consider subscribing so that you actually promote us to do more of these videos in series, so that you also help others to learn and engage. So you can also comment down below in case you need us to do something on this solution. Then we will be happy to enhance the application. So our application is launching. Let's just wait and see how this will go about. So there we go. So this is our solution. So this is how the application looks like. This is help desk system, home, privacy, and we have the register and even the login. So we can actually modify these without doing anything. So I'll just go to shared folder. Then under layout, I can actually rename these to something else. So I can call these, where is it? Here. I can say help desk management system. So if I just do that and I update my application, then our changes should reflect. So let's just wait and see. So if we go back here, yes, so that is, so you can see this is help desk management system. So what I want us to do is, I want us to do some things. So I want us to, even before doing that, I want us to go back to our app settings, and I want us to actually connect this to the database. So I'm using SQL, so we need to connect this to the database. So for you to connect that, we need some things here. So I'm going to provide my server name. So here I'm going to rename this to my server name. So I'm going to have my server name there. So this is my server name. So you can actually provide your own server name. So I'll just do here engineer. So that is my server name. Then I can also provide the name of the database. So you can also create the database name. So let me just show you what is happening. So if I go back here, this is my SQL server. Here I can create a database. You can see this is the server name, engineer. I can create a new database, and I can call this sample. Can call this sample help desk. So we just do sample help desk, create the database, and this will be our database name. So if we just go back here and our app settings, so on the database, we can actually provide these with our database name, which is a sample help desk. Then you have trusted connection is true, multiple active connection, active result sets is true. Then you can do one thing here. So I want you to introduce something called trust server certificate. So we say trust server certificate, trust server certificate, which is actually one word. Then you can say this is true. So we've actually now connected our application to the database. So here, so this we've connected this to the database. So if we go back to our program.cs, you'll see that we have the connection string. It is taking the connections from the default connection. And if there is no connection, then it will actually throw that particular kind of an error. But now, before even we do anything, we can actually come here, go to tools, NuGet package manager console. I want us to create some tables and add migrations. So to add migrations, we'll just go here, then we say add migration. Then we give the name of the migration. So I'm going to say initial migration. Then if you press enter, it will generate a folder here called migrations, and it will have our initial migration file there. So you can see here we have the folder migrations, and we should be able to have our file. There we go. So you can see we have the initial migrations, which it doesn't have anything. So we can actually now update our database. We can say update database. So so those are very important commands that you need to be aware of. So I'll just do update database. So if we press enter, so it should actually connect our application to the database and create some of the default tables. And you can see here, it is actually creating some of the NetCORE tables. So here it is done. So if we go back to our database, sample help desk, under tables, you should be able to see we have the default tables. You see we have the EF migrations, which actually tracks the histories that we've done. Then we have SPNet roles, SPNet users, SPNet user logins, user claims. So if you see on these SPNet users, you can actually see that it has some fields. So it has the lockout enabled, username normalized. So that means if we go back to our application, we can actually register a user and we can log in. So let's just launch the application and see if we can register a user, because now our application is connected to the database. So let's just log in, connect. So our application is launching. Let's just wait and see. So there we go. So we have our application there. So if we go to the register, we can actually register a user here. So I'm going to say that is the password admin account. Then I can say this is my password. I can provide my password. So if I click register, you'll notice that it will create this particular user. So it has created the user, but now if we had configured the email SMTP in our application, it should actually send us the email confirmation for us to confirm that that is the correct email. But because this is not configured, we have been provided with the click button here to confirm our email account. So if we just click here, it will be able to confirm. You can see the confirm email. Thank you for confirming your email. And if we go back to the database, we should be able to see that we have a user. So you can see there is a record that has been created. This is the ID. This is the username that you provided, the email address, and everything that we provided. So you can see even the password is hashed and everything is flowing. So if we go back to the application, we can also log in. So if I pass my password, the email and the password, and I click login, I can actually log in. You can see I'm now logged in. And how do you know that? You can see here, it is actually indicating my email address, that is hello@admin, and I can log out. You see, we have now a button for logout. But before you log in, we have two buttons, register and login. So if we click login, you can actually log in to the application. So that is one thing that we've done. We've managed to connect our application to the database, and we've actually registered a user. So another thing that I want us to do is, on our application, you'll notice that we have some we notice that we have something on the application users table. So here on ASP.NET users, there are some fields that are missing. Assuming we want to enhance, you see we have the username, normalized username, email, all this. But assuming we want to capture the first name, middle name, last name of a particular user. So how will we do that? So we can actually extend this table. So what we need to do, let's go to our folder for models. So I want us to add a model here called, so here I want us to add a model called application user. So here we'll say application user. So we just do application user. Then I want us to go back here and I want us to do this. So I want us to inherit from identity user. So if we just say identity user. So if we do that, we will be asked to install, to be using, you see, we need to import this using Microsoft ASP.NET Core identity. So that means we need now to have, we can pass our additional properties here. So assuming we want to have our first name, so that is my, so this is my first name. So I can do that. So these are some of the additional fields that we want for our users. So here I can say middle name. So I can also do, so see, this should be middle name. Sorry. So here I'll just do middle. I can also do another field here for last name. So let me zoom this so that it's a bit clearer for you guys. Sorry for that. So here will be last name. Then another thing is I can do gender. So I can do gender. Here I'll just do gender. Then I can also do here phone number. I think we have a phone number in our other table. So let's just confirm. So phone number, you see we have the phone number here. So that's okay. So we can say we need, say, country. And we can also add another one. We say city. And also here we can actually say, if we want to get the full name, we can do public. So if we want to get the full name of the user, we can do string. Then we say full name. But this one will not be. So here, this value, we'll be getting it from a combination of the names. So how do you do that? So I'm going to do that. Then here, I'm going to say this will be first name. So full name will be a combination of first name, middle name. So this should be middle name. Then this should be, so we need to have another, so this should be last name. So if we do that, then we will be having our full name. So we've now added this thing here. So the next change that we need to do is we need to modify some few items. So since we have inherited this application user and it's inheriting from identity user, we've actually extended the identity user table to have these additional fields. So what we need to do, we need to go to program.cs, and instead of using identity here, we should actually use our application user. So that is the change that we need to do. Another change that we need to do is go to our application DB context, we see on the data, then application DB context, confirm that it's not using anything, that is okay. Then, since we have that, I want us to add migration. So let's just go to tools, then go to NuGet Package Manager console, then let's clear, then we can add migration. So here we'll say updated user. So we can say extended. Let me just extended user table. So if we press enter, it will now add our migration. Then we should be able to update the database. So that is okay. Let's just update database and see. So if everything goes well, so you can see it has added that. So let's just confirm if we have these fields. So if we click that, so there's something that we missed. Yes. So let's just do something. Yes. So there's something that we missed. So what is that? So if we go back to our application DB context, so we need to make some changes so that we take care of the new user. So what we need to do is go to our application DB context here. Then we need to ensure that this is using our application user. So if we do that, so just say application user. So if we do that, then let's now add the migration. So let's just clear that. Then let's add another migration, say updated. So we should be able now to get our additional fields. So as you can see, our columns now are there. So that is what we were missing. And if you notice, guys, we did not add the application DB context, that is the application user here, as a DB set. So we've actually passed that here. So after that, we can update the database and we should be able to have now the additional columns. So as you can see, everything is going on well. And if you go back to our application SPNet users table, we'll be having the additional columns. You see, you have the city, county, country, first name, gender, last name, and the middle name. So that is one way of doing that. So the next thing that I want us to do is I want us to scaffold some things. So here on our application, if we go back to the SPNet user, we can scaffold this. So I'm going to do new scaffolded item, then identity. So this one will give us so if you notice when you are registering, we had the login and the registration page, but they are not here. So you can see the pages, we don't see them. So what we need to do, we need to scaffold so that we are in a position to update and actually modify those pages. So if we go back to, so let's just scaffold and see. So you can see identity will actually give you our existing, that is some pages to help us do that. So I'm going to click override all files. Then you are going to take all these files, but you can actually select the particular files that you want. That is the razor pages. So I'm going to take all of them. Then I indicate the application DB context that I'm using. Then you can see here, you can also use the user class. You can supply, but for us, we have already added that. So if I click add, it will actually generate a lot of pages, and that is the razor pages, and it will add them here. So let's just see how this goes. So it's building the project and it's scaffolding. So for those who are following this video up to that point, if you're new to this channel and you haven't subscribed and you're watching this video, please consider subscribing and like the video. So let's just wait and see how this goes about. So we have the Microsoft Visual Studio scaffolding. Then let's just, so it's generating the code now, as you can see. So once this is done, we should be able to get all the pages and we can now proceed and do any modifications that we want. So as you can see, it is done. So here we had only the pages, but now we have a folder called account. And you can see we have all these pages. Now we have our login page and we can always modify this login page. Another thing is our register section. So remember we added some fields here. And the additional fields, we have the city, country, name, gender, last name, middle name, and the first name. So for us to, if we just go back and launch the application, assuming there is no any error, then we should be able to see that those fields are not there. So for someone who is going to register again, they will actually need to provide those additional fields. So you can see we have an issue. And so the reason we are getting this error, you see invalid operation, no service for type Microsoft SP.NETCORE identity user. So if we go back to our program.cs, so ensure that we have a builder.services, add identity, change this from default identity, then have our application user identity role, then you can have this. So once you have that, go back to our login partial here under shared. So we need to change this from identity user to application user. So here you need to convert that. Then after you've done with that, another thing is you need to also change something called manage nav here. Ensure that it has application user. So if you do that, we should now be able to get our application up and running. So let's just launch and see how this will work. So there we go. So you can see our application is now running. Then if we go to register, we have the email, password, and confirm password. But remember, we added some few fields: city, country, last name, all this. So how do we add that? So we need to go to our register page here, under register page here. Where is it? So here under register. Then I'm going to add those fields. So to add those fields, I'm going to our here. Then I'm going to provide the fields. So I'm going to just copy that and I say here first name. So this will be, it's not an email. So we'll just do a string here first. So this should be first name. Then we can also do the last name, the middle name. So here middle name. This is also middle name. Then you can do last name. So that is how you modify the fields, guys. Middle name. So this should be last name, I mean. So this is last name and this is last name. Then we can also have our gender. So here you'll say gender. And this is say gender as well. So once we do that, then we can also have here, our country. And here we can say country. Then we can also do city. So here we are going to do city, and this is city. So those are the fields that we added. You have city, gender, and I think that those are the fields. So once we have these fields, remember we need to ensure that we are saving them at the database level. So how are we going to do that? So what we need to do is, when this user is created here, it will now come with the application user. So we need to say here user dot, so we say user dot first name. We need to assign it to our input. So we say input dot first name. So we need to assign the values to our user, because here then it will be created. So I'm going here to now have all my fields here. So if I do that, then I'm going to say, middle name. I'll just do middle name. This is also middle name. Then I can do here last name. You can also do here last name. Then we have the gender. So I can do here gender. Then here we can do gender. Then I can also do here, I can do country. Then here country. Then the last one is our, so this is country. The last one is our city. So I'll just do city. Then this is city. Then after that, that is okay. So to get those values, we need to go to our register page. Then we now modify here. We add these fields. So I'm going to add the fields here. I'll just copy that, have it here. Then I'll say this is first name. So I'm going to change this, sorry. So this is first name. So this is first name, this is first name, this is first name. And here, let's just remove this and the autocomplete. So we can do that for now. Then, so we have our first name. So remember, we need to have all the fields here. So I'm going to now do here our middle name. So middle name. Then I'm going to copy this here. So here also you ensure we have the first name. Then here is middle name. Then once we have that here, we can also do here, can say last name. So I'm going to do here last name. So this should be last name. So I'm going to remove that there. Then we have our gender. Here. Can say gender. So this is gender. You can also say here gender. So then I can say this is can say here country. So this is just registration of user. So you can also do here country. This is country. Then you can say here city. So that is our last field. So you need here city, and we have this is city. Then you can do here city. So we now have all the fields that we added. So if we just go back now and launch the application, we should be able to see all these fields. So let me just launch. So we should be able to see these fields, and we should now add a user with all those fields. So let's just see how that goes. So if we go back here, so that is our application. If we just say register, we now have all these fields, you see? So I can now go back here and say James Imani. Can say Mbugwa, and we say here male. Then country, can say here Kenya. I can say city here Kitale. Then email address, I can provide, that is my email address. Then I can also provide the password. So I can also do that and provide the password. So if we click register, if everything is okay, then our application will register a user, and we should be able to see that user logged in. You see, it's already logged in. Remember, we removed the confirmation of user, password, and email. So if we go back to our application and execute, we should be able to see now we have another user via admin1, but we now the details that we provided. Remember, we have the city, country, name, all this. So we've been able to now create a user and register a user within our help desk management system. So we are going to leave it there for today, and we hope to proceed with this video. So if you are watching, remember to subscribe and keep posted. See you in our next video. Bye.